So, watching MMA strips you of your human dignity. Now, that is what I titled a video, a YouTube video that I came across just the other day, and it was recorded by a priest, but who goes by the name of Father Mike Smits. He's from the US, has a YouTube channel. I think it's called Christian Ascension. But if you punch in the name, the statement that I made just at the beginning of this video, you see it come up in the YouTube search box. It's quite a popular video. Though it's a few years old, but it gained quite a lot of traffic. Excuse me. So, do I think that MMA strips me of my human dignity when I watch it for entertainment? No, I don't. I don't think that at all. Well, first of all, you're watching two people who have consented, who have agreed to put themselves in that situation, whereby unfortunately there'll be plenty of violence, a lot of injury potentially, and yeah, you're watching two people who have consented to put themselves in that situation, whereby unfortunately those things are going to happen, and it's that environment is controlled. There is a team of medical doctors and experts there who, if they see that the fight's getting too out of hand, of course, as a referee, who'll be keeping a close eye on what's going on inside the octagon, inside that cage. And if anything does go wrong, if one fighter is having an advantage over the other, if one fighter really is in a very compromising situation or position, then the fight will be stopped or paused there. And of course, medical team will keep an eye on the health of both fighters. If one of them is one or both of them are seriously injured, the fight stops there. Now, and of course, they people make money out of this, and they can make a career out of this, depending on how well they do, on how well they fight, and how many fights they win. MMA is since I started kickboxing, although I took an interest in the sport even before I started kickboxing, but since I started kickboxing, my fondness and my interest in the sport has grown a lot since then, even though I've had just a few kickboxing classes. But the sport itself, MMA, teaches you a lot of things. It teaches you how to, respect other people, even the opponent you'll be sparring with or fighting with in any match or event, wherever you find yourself. It teaches you how to react in certain situations. If someone's confronting you in an aggressive and violent manner, it teaches you to respect other people. Um, it teaches you a lot of things. Actually, most people who are professional MMA fighters, excuse me, and those who are professionals in kickboxing, Muay Thai, and any other combat sport, they're actually very nice people, very collected and very calm individuals. They're actually some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. And what really ticks me off about the video that I saw the other day, excuse me, I keep mumbling my words together, but what really ticks me off about the video I saw the other day on YouTube is that this was being said by a priest. And I don't think you can compare anything that we're seeing in MMA to any other crimes the crimes in MMA. You can't compare the crimes in MMA to anything that we've been seeing or still seeing now that's happening in the church. And I know that's an area that many people are very, very unwilling to talk about, and it's a very sensitive topic that people want to avoid at all costs most of the time. Even the media are very reluctant to report about the horrors that are going on within the church. But enough said about that. But personally, I don't think that watching MMA strips people of their human dignity at all. I never felt that way ever. I just watched UFC 251 the other day. I saw the highlights of the fight of the event in Abu Dhabi in the Middle East, Fight Island, and the match between Holloway and Volkanovski. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Volkanovski, the Australian fighter. Of course, that was very upsetting because it was clear who won that fight. But after watching that event and other events before that, I never felt that I've lost any sort of human dignity at all. No, I never felt any less human or even more human. The sport of MMA does teach people actually to be better human beings. So it teaches them how to control yourself, how to respect other people. It actually builds up your confidence and builds up your self-esteem. Many people who have gotten into the sport of mixed martial arts, many of these fighters who are now professional athletes and world champions, they got in because they're coming from a very tough background. When they're in their younger years, when they're kids, teenagers, they're not treated well or nicely by people at all. And the sport really has turned their life around completely. It's really given them the things that back then they could only dream of. So no, I don't think watching it for entertainment is a is a bad thing at all. Of course, there are some serious injuries that have happened in MMA. Broken legs. I've seen some shows whereby one opponent tried to throw a leg kick, and unfortunately the other guy blocked it really well, and the opponent who threw the initial move broke their leg, it almost looked like making their leg look like a broken toothpick. I've seen torn lips. I've seen injuries to the head, whereby the head now looks like it has a vagina on the forehead. Those sorts of things. Broken legs, broken arms, broken shoulders, all sorts of injuries, because it's a sort of sport that you basically for all sorts of combat, let me say combat arts such as wrestling, grappling, Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing, and judo. And of course, there are many others, but again, this is a sport that I'm still very new, so I'm learning new things all the time. So, yeah, I'm like re-emphasizing and repeating this point in this video all the time. I don't think that this sport is, anything immoral. It doesn't take away from your human dignity at all. No, so the title of that video, when I saw it, I had to do it like a take back while scrolling through the YouTube playlist, just the like the feed that comes up, and I actually watched the videos more than once, about 3 or 4 times, just to make sure that that this wasn't something that I was seeing double, or that this was actually real, and I was coming from an institution that is guilty of far worse crimes. And I think what's happened within that institution, it goes beyond taking away from human dignity. But I'll leave it at that. So yes, guys, if you enjoyed that video, please leave a like, and please do not forget to subscribe. You can find me on Instagram. My name is IcoJarko1, and on Facebook and Twitter, my name is IcoJarko. And also, yes, my first podcast is on the way. I've got all my sound equipment ready. It's just to really find a mic stand, and to get some people lined up to do a podcast with me. And yeah, so please do stay tuned for that. It will be fun, I promise you. And yes, thanks.